3 manifestation hacks to manifest more money. Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome back to my channel. This is Priya, your manifestation coach. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 manifestation hacks that I used in my life that allowed me to effortlessly shift from somebody receiving 5 figures to 7 figures. So let's get started. 3 manifestation hacks to manifest more money in your life. Now, before I get into the hacks, I first want to talk about the state of consciousness of abundance. It's important to understand things at the highest level. This is truly the key to allowing yourself to manifest more abundance consistently. So let's talk about the state of consciousness of abundance. This is all about embodying the state of consciousness that says, I am somebody who is abundant. I am somebody who repeatedly receives increasing levels of abundance as I move through life. In order to live at this level of existence, it's really about shifting your state of consciousness, beginning to think like somebody who is abundant. Conversely, if you're somebody right now who doesn't have a lot of money in your bank account, if you're somebody right now who is trying to pay the bills, trying to pay your rent, and when you're looking at your bank account, it causes you to feel a lot of fear and stress, I guarantee that right now there is a certain way that you are thinking as you move through life. And I'm here to tell you that you don't need to have a lot of money in your bank account, that you don't need to have an abundance of money in your bank account to begin to shift your state of consciousness. So this is a vibrational game. You have free will. Therefore, using your free will, you can begin to embody the state of consciousness that says, I am abundant, even if your 3D reality is currently rejecting that. Even if your 3D reality currently says otherwise, you can begin right now to embody the state of consciousness that says, I am abundant in nature. Abundance chases me. Abundance follows me everywhere that I go. This is exactly what I did when I used to work in corporate London. So now I'm going to talk to you about the 3 hacks that I used. And when I do this, I'll go into more details about what I mean about shifting your state of consciousness and beginning to think like somebody who is abundant by nature. So hack number 1, stop seeing things as expensive. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean that a negative pattern that prevents a lot of people from manifesting more abundance into their life is that they begin to see things in their life as expensive. If they're looking at a menu in a restaurant, their natural thought goes to, oh, this is really expensive. Or if you're buying clothes, or if you're at the grocery store, oh, this is expensive, this is expensive. And it's just a natural default thought that one goes to. If you're somebody who sees the world as expensive as you're moving through life, this is a huge indicator that you are in the state of consciousness of poverty consciousness, which is the opposite to abundance consciousness. So what you want to do is you want to begin to shift this. You want to begin to shift the way that you perceive things. Because if you believe that everything is expensive, if you begin to perceive everything in your life as expensive, whether you're at the grocery store, whether you're at a restaurant, whether you're buying clothes, if you're just in your head naturally thinking this is expensive, this is expensive, this is expensive, you remain stuck where you are. You are in the energy of lack. The energetic signal that you're broadcasting to the universe is everything in my life is expensive, which implies that you don't have enough financial abundance. And so the universe is going to demonstrate to you that this is the way that you feel about life, that everything is expensive, which keeps you stuck, which blocks you off from manifesting more money into your life. So something that I did to shift out of this state of consciousness is, instead of seeing things as expensive, I began to consciously empower myself. So every time I would walk into a restaurant, or I'd walk into a store, or I'd be purchasing something, I would make this statement: out of all the options available to me right now, this is what I choose. There is a big difference in this vibration versus the vibration of, oh, this is too expensive. Oh, this is really expensive. Okay, huge difference in these two vibrations. When you turn inwards and you remind yourself that right now I am consciously choosing this out of all the options available to me, you empower yourself. And this puts you in the vibration of abundance instead of in the vibration of lack or in the vibration of poverty consciousness. So today I invite you to shift your perception around what you see as expensive, because at the end of the day, it's all relative. If right now you had 100 million pounds in your bank account or $100 million to my American friends, you wouldn't be viewing things on a menu or you wouldn't be viewing stuff at the grocery store as expensive. It would be nothing to you. You'd be like, oh yeah, whatever. You wouldn't even look at the price. And there is a message in what I'm saying here. You want to begin to evoke this state of consciousness within you. And the way to do this is to first shift from seeing things as expensive to instead empowering yourself and saying, out of all the options available to me, I choose this right now. This is so much more powerful and empowering versus, you know what, I just don't have a choice. This is the only thing that I can get. That's not true. You always have a choice. And more than the words that you're saying, it's really about the vibration that you are feeling. When you say, you know what, out of all the options available to me right now, this is what I choose, you are in the energy of empowerment. And abundant people always feel empowered. So you want to embody this frequency, which you can do right now in the present moment. Let's now move on to manifestation hack number 2. Stop putting things on a pedestal. What do I mean by this? A lot of the times, and this is something that I used to do back in the days, is say I would look at like a really nice hotel room or something really luxurious and opulent. I would begin to put it on a pedestal, meaning I'd be like, wow, look at this private jet, or wow, look at this room, this hotel room that's like $2,000 a night, like wow. And without realizing it unconsciously, I was putting these things on a pedestal. Now let's talk about the energetics of what's going on here when you put something on a pedestal. When you see something as like, wow, oh my gosh, wow. What you're really saying is there's this thing outside of me that is so far from me. It's so far from me. Now, in order to manifest more abundance in your life, it's about becoming an energetic match to the frequency of abundance. So when you see something as really far from you that you can't really reach, it's like, wow, this is like really crazy room that's like $2,000 a night. Oh my gosh, like, wow. This causes separation, okay? When you're separate from the thing that you want, you can't manifest it. You block yourself from allowing more abundance into your life. Conversely, when you become one with the thing that you want, and I'll talk about how to become one with it in just a second, this is when you become a vibrational match to more abundance. So how can you begin to become one with things that you see as luxurious or opulence? This is about normalizing luxury in your mind, okay? Normalizing it. So think about it. If something's not normal to you, you're going to be like, wow, and you're going to put it on a pedestal. But again, go back to the state of consciousness of abundance, okay? If you were somebody that had 100 million pounds or dollars in your bank account right now, circulating 2,000 a night on a hotel room would be normal to you. It wouldn't be something that's like, wow, oh my gosh, it's this thing that's outside of me. Okay? It would be something that is normal. So you want to begin to normalize yourself with luxury. And a really cool power tip that I'm going to share with you that will allow you to do this is by looking at luxurious things. So you could look at Pinterest, you could look at, you could go onto your computer and look at like hotel rooms, look at like the suite prices of really luxurious hotels. You could look at luxurious cars. Anything that, you know, that has that frequency of opulence, of luxury, begin to look at it. Normalize yourself with it. The more you look at it, the more it becomes normal to you versus, oh my gosh, it's the thing that's outside of me. Okay, so if you go on Pinterest, you know, and you put in like private jets or you put in like Chanel handbags or Birkin handbags or whatever it is, just begin to normalize yourself with the fact that it's, you know, X amount. So that it's instead, you're not thinking, oh my God, wow, is this thing that's outside of me? You begin to normalize it as you look at it every day. Now, I can tell you firsthand that this is something that I used to do, okay? When I didn't have a lot of money in my bank account, okay? I used to look up really luxurious, opulent things in whatever format that took, whether I was watching a show on TV, such as like the Kardashians, that like just screams opulence when you look at the way they travel, when you look at just the lifestyle, or whether that was, I was looking at something on Pinterest or looking at hotel rooms on the internet, okay? I began to normalize myself with luxury and with opulence. And I can tell you that the old version of me that used to work in corporate London, it was normal back then for me to circulate £200 or £300 on a hotel room. Now it's normal for me to circulate between $1,000 and $2,000 on a hotel room. That's normal for me. And I contribute that to the fact that I used to look at luxurious things even when I didn't have the funds in my bank account and just normalize those prices in my mind. I made it normal. And today I'm already living that. Now there's always the next level of abundance. Okay, there's never like a ceiling. So like right now it's normal for me to spend like 1 or 2K a night on a hotel room. Is it normal for me to spend say 10K a night on a hotel room? No, but I'm normalizing that in my head. Okay, so there's always a next level no matter where you are. So when you begin to normalize it, you're no longer separate from abundance. Instead, you become abundance. So manifestation hack number 2 is really about stop putting things on a pedestal, normalize abundance and opulence so that it's something that is normal to you. Remember, this is all about embodying the state of consciousness of abundance. Let's now move on to manifestation hack number 3. The frequency of abundance. Now, this is something that is super simple. And again, it's something that I used to do regularly. Okay. In order to tap into that frequency of abundance, use any excuse in your 3D reality to amplify that vibration. Begin to focus on things that are abundant in nature. So, for example, you could go to a supermarket right now and you can begin to focus on the fact that there is an abundance of food when you go to the supermarket. Or you could be walking right now in the forest and you could notice the fact that, oh my gosh, there's an abundance of trees or there's an abundance of oxygen. Use whatever you need to use in your 3D reality to activate the frequency of abundance. Remember, you don't have to focus on money in order to call it in. You just need to embody the state of consciousness of abundance. So begin to notice things that are abundant in your life. Doesn't have to be money. It can be anything. You might have an abundance of friends. You might have an abundance of health. You might have an abundance of food in your house. Whatever it is, just begin to focus on the energy of abundance. When you begin to notice what is abundant in your life, you embody the frequency of abundance. And then this allows you to receive more abundance. This is also a really great technique. If manifestation hack number 2 is something that triggers you, sometimes, if you have very little money in your bank account, when you begin to look at like opulence or luxury, it might trigger you by seeing that level of abundance and the prices like attached to that. So a really good alternative to that is this practice of just focusing on anything that is abundant in nature by just focusing on the frequency of abundance. So can you notice things in your life that are abundant in nature? And keep it really simple. So again, this is a really, really powerful tip. This is something that I used to do to just activate the vibration of abundance. And with all the tips that I've shared with you here today, it's important to know that you don't need to have like a huge amount of money in your bank account, which you don't have control of right now. But what you do have control of is your vibration. What you do have control of is the fact that you can embody the state of consciousness of abundance right now in the present moment. So let's recap the 3 manifestation hacks that I've shared with you here today that will allow you to embody the state of consciousness of abundance, that will allow you to begin to think like somebody who is abundant, who is already living an abundant life. Manifestation hack number 1, stop seeing things as expensive. Instead of perceiving things as expensive, you want to become very conscious of this and instead reframe it to, out of all the options available to me right now, I choose this. I choose to purchase this. I choose to circulate my money in this manner. That automatically empowers you and puts you in a very different vibration compared to, oh my God, this is so expensive, which implies that, I don't have a lot. I'm in the energy of lack, which is the opposite to the energy of abundance. Manifestation hack number 2, stop putting luxury or opulence on a pedestal. Every time you see something that you think, wow, okay, this is really luxurious, you want to stop seeing it as something that is outside of you, something that is above you. Instead, you want to close that gap and normalize it in your head. If you begin to put things on a pedestal, you cause separation. And when you cause separation, this amplifies the vibration of lack, which blocks you from manifesting more abundance into your life. Now, conversely, when you normalize opulence and luxury by looking at luxurious things, by normalizing those prices in your mind, this is when you open the floodgates of abundance. This is when you become one with luxury and opulence. You become abundance itself. You're no longer separate from it. You're no longer putting it on a pedestal. Instead, it's something that is normal to you. And this is the way that you want to begin to feel and think. Let's now move on to manifestation hack number 3. The frequency of abundance. So this is about activating the frequency of abundance by focusing on things that are abundant, such as an abundance of trees, an abundance of oxygen, an abundance of food at the grocery store. Any excuse you can use to activate the energy of abundance. Begin to focus on things that are abundant in your life. So when you apply these 3 manifestation hacks, you are shifting yourself from the energy of lack to the energy of abundance. You are becoming one with the frequency of abundance, which will allow you to attract more abundance in your life consistently. Now, if you are somebody who would like to learn how to focus more on the frequency of what it is that you are trying to manifest, then you can get your hands on my free masterclass, 6 steps to manifest anything you want without changing your limiting beliefs. Click the link below in the description box. Finally, thank you so much for being here today. I love you. I appreciate you. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.